Nicolas Cage has ruined roles before, and he's elevated other roles to something unforgettable. So when I heard that he was leading a live-action Spider-Noir series, I didn't know what version we were getting. But this might be the perfect kind of weird. Now, out the gates, I absolutely love the tone of this. They brought back that 1920s black and white vibe. We did, of course, get a glimpse of that in the Into the Spider-Verse movie, where Nicolas Cage did actually voice the character, but he was still a variant of Peter Parker.
Sometimes I let matches burn down to my fingertips just to feel something, anything.
It has been confirmed that in this Spider-Noir series, it is Ben Reilly that Nicolas Cage is playing, so it's still a different universe and kind of the same vein, and I actually think that that's refreshing. Really, it's because of studio politics. They're not going to let them use the IP, Spider-Man. The only way that they can do a Spider-Man type of movie is if they change little things like that, and that's just the stupidity of the business. But honestly, I ain't that mad at it, because it opens up the expectations of what is and allows something new and refreshing in, and I actually feel like this might be something worth the watch. I actually think in the small glimpses they give us in this trailer, that weird, quirky Nick Cage charm actually works. The whole classic Nick Cage, with him wearing a black Spider-Man mask and a fedora. Is it called a fedora? I don't know. The Indiana Jones hat, but in black. But clearly we're getting an origin story, and it seems like he got his powers back in the war. We see how that kind of gives him these visions, these nightmare visions, and I think they might play to the whole Man-Spider thing. Now, again, we're getting a lot of rumors that Tom Holland is going to be turning into Man-Spider in Spider-Man Brand New Day that's coming out. So they really had to keep that separate, and I think that's another real reason why we haven't got the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer yet, because they wanted to leave room for this Spider-Noir series. And since Sony has now been officially confirmed to be playing nice with Marvel and sharing the characters they should have been sharing in the first place, it actually opens up many more opportunities to tell a better story. Because honestly, I don't know how they survived as long as they did without a Peter Parker in their universe. And they already said they're not going to touch on the live-action Miles Morales until they're done with the Spider-Verse movies. But I am very excited to see a Miles Morales rendition. It would have been awesome to see him in Avengers Secret Wars. Maybe we still will. But they've pretty much been clear that that's not going to happen until they finish the Spider-Verse. But bringing it back to Spider-Noir and referring to him as the Spider, I think that's a great little touch. We see that kind of man-spider image, and I don't know if that's going to be an actual character. Many have speculated that it is, but I think that's him dealing with the thoughts that these newfound powers have been giving him. It's something that kind of haunts him. As he mentions in the trailer, it's thoughts, twitches, things like this that he feels dealing with these powers. We also got villains like Flint Marko, the Sandman, in this 1920s version. I don't know if he'll have the ability to shapeshift like we're used to seeing, like from Spider-Man 3 and No Way Home, but in the comics, it's more like he can punch real hard because he can create sand on his fist, a harder surface on his body that makes him slightly more indestructible. Clearly doesn't have to worry about exfoliating at night. We definitely have a form of Molten Man, most likely. We also have what looks to be either Shocker or Electro. I would probably say Electro more likely. And then we have this very obvious figure who people are speculating is Mr. Negative. Now, in both black and white and in color, he still has this Mr. Negative vibe with that white suit and what seems to be inverted colors. And that would be very interesting because there is speculation that Mr. Negative may be the big bad in Spider-Man Brand New Day. If it works for the story, it works for me. Also, a lot of the action shots actually look pretty good. There's no reason for me to think that this won't be entertaining. And I love that makeup and the effects that they've used for this sequence right here. And I very much hope that kind of realism is used in Spider-Man Brand New Day when he becomes Man-Spider, which has been speculated all around, because I just don't want it to be this big, overdone CGI monster that we're so sick of in these movies. It just makes it like a cartoon. I don't want to see a cartoon in a live action. I want the CGI and effects to be so realistic that I can barely tell the difference. And I think practical effects and makeup like this would work in Spider-Man Brand New Day as well. The whole slogan in this movie is, with no power comes no responsibility. And I love that cheeky play on the line that we all know, of course, with great power comes great responsibility. So that's a cool way that they're spinning it. And really, we're just gonna watch to see what that means. And really, it just sets up the tone and attitude of this Ben Reilly character. I'm actually a fan of how the Spider looks swinging through the streets with his web slingers. First, you think, is this gonna work? But I I think it kind of will. And the storyline actually seems intriguing because it's not really stepping on the toes of anything else we've been watching already or have seen yet. I think that it's awesome that they put it out in black and white and in color. I'm still trying to decide myself which one I'm gonna watch it in, but I think for the more authentic experience, I may watch it in black and white. Nicolas Cage himself has talked about throwing a little bit of Humphrey Bogart in there and Cagney and obviously a lot of himself. Is this someone that's going to be interacting in Avengers Secret Wars and with the other ones that we love? I don't think so. But even as we saw in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, where he and America Chavez are going through each of these universes, we see them actually go through animated universes, and we see Into the Spider-Verse dealing with live action and animated. And so it's a very, very real thing. I'm constantly preaching about how studios need to be more bold with their choices and not keep falling into their little safety net of what they think might work for the family friendlies, which is why a lot of their most recent series have sucked. But this one, even if you are skeptical of Nicolas Cage himself, he did a great job with Into the Spider-Verse. And this one now being a Ben Reilly version, and with a dark tone and that classic off-center humor, especially with the weird quirkiness that Nicolas Cage brings to the role, I think it's gonna be a banger. When studios stop playing it so safe, this is what can happen. Greatness. Only time will tell. Maybe the series sucks, but I think there's something special to it, and I'll definitely be doing videos about it. You let me know your thoughts about the new Spider-Noir trailer. Is it cringe or genius to be putting Nicolas Cage in this role? If you haven't already, please hit that sub button for me and hit that notification bell for live updates. I'm Pauly, this is Pauly's Perspective, and as always, thanks for nerding out with me.